Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and I want to talk about the incredibly epic 2024 core rulebooks. One, watch close, baby, because what you about to see ain't never been done ever, right? We are doing a relaunch of the core rulebooks, a reboot. I think, is it a reboot? Is it a relaunch? The important part is we're going to get new core rulebooks, okay? And DMG, Monster Manual, and PHB, right? Dungeon Master Guide, Player's Handbook, Monster Manual. We're going to get all new core rulebooks, right? But no new addition. This has never, ever been done on any tabletop role-playing game of significance, right? Like, I've never seen this done on anything, right? So, and the scale of this is going to be massive. This is probably going to be one of the biggest print runs in all of tabletop role-playing game history. In fact, I will predict right now, it will be the #1 print run ever. Like, it will let's be clear, this is only in competition with itself. Dungeons & Dragons is just like every other day of the week. Like, call it a Tuesday, because all you're seeing here is Dungeons & Dragons competing with itself, because it will absolutely dwarf every print run ever done by any OSR and any indie company. In fact, what you're really seeing is I think this print run will actually be larger than the print run of the OSR and indies of any other year combined, right? Like, it's going to be a huge print run. All right. What I want to talk about today is the Brawler subclass got kicked out of the 2024 core rulebooks, okay? So I want to talk about the ramifications of that specifically. That is a big freaking deal, right? First of all, what do we know about the 2024 core rulebooks? At the infrastructure level, nothing new, right? So basically, we did the play test, right? And the reason we're going to get nothing new is because Wizards of the Coast listened, because Hasbro listened, right? Basically, they served up the Ardling, they served up the Brawler, right? Both of these are, the Ardling actually, that's kind of weak sauce. I don't think we should have had a single new species. Right? But we didn't. Brawler was a no-brainer, right? So it's a fighter subclass, and really what it is a non-Eastern monk. So the monk, really, right? People are like, what if I want to hit things a lot and hit things powerfully and hit things well, but I don't want to have spent 20 years in a monastery, right? I don't want to have where I don't want key, right? I don't want to have to pretend that I have some magical power, right? What if I just want a dude who kicks butt, right? With melee, right? That's what the Brawler was. That is a no-brainer, right? It's a no-brainer. It should absolutely come in. It did not come in, right? And the reason why it didn't come in is, like, one of the things that's wild is people are saying D&D 5e is perfect, right? They don't want any changes there. They really don't want any changes there, right? So when you look at the 2024 core rulebooks, right, what you're really getting is a complete sweep of new art, right? Every bit of errata from 10 years in the book, right? And a fix on a huge, absolutely massive representation and inclusion changes, right? Species, that's one of the biggest ones. The word race had to be pulled out of the game. Had to, right? Every major progressive tabletop role-playing game is pulling the word race out of the book, right? In fact, it's almost like it's a litmus test, right? Like, oh, you guys are still using the word race? I can skip this game, right? Like, you guys are you know nothing about inclusion or representation, and basically this is a heartbreaker piece of trash that can be ignored. Or like, it's, so it had to be pulled out, right? So the reality is, we really have, again, a lot of the problems that we have in America, we bring them on ourselves, right? This stuff was Brawler would have been incredible. It would have been a really logical, very cool, very really enjoyable subclass at the table. And everybody was like, nope, we don't really fundamentally want any changes to this perfect game, right? But the reality is this, one of the things that's wild is Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, this is a problem of massive success, right? You cannot keep printing the same core rulebook after 10 years. So what you're seeing now is an editionless reboot of the core rulebooks. And just like every other day of the week, Dungeons & Dragons will lead the way, and then you'll see this done by 3 OSR companies and 3 indie companies next year. And all of them literally copying Dungeons & Dragons will insult them as they do it. Frustrating. Yeah. But I do think it's very interesting to note Brawler should have made it in, and it didn't, right? Which means we're getting absolutely zero infrastructure changes. There'll be some flourishes, right? But no real changes to D&D 5e. Now, trust and believe, I'm ready for those new books, right? And I think, and for new players, right, who don't already own these books, it's a big deal. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.